Hey guys, Jordan here. Today we're checking out some bundles from Scan Computers UK. They're working with Intel to give you guys some discounts on motherboard and CPU combos. Plus you can choose one of 4 games to get absolutely free with the bundle too. Now like I mentioned, these are kindly sent out by Scan Computers UK, one of the leading UK retailers. They sell a whole host of different components, 3XS pre-built systems, musical instruments, pro audio video gear, a massive range of products, and I'll link all their stuff down below. Big thanks to them for sending out these bundles. So this week we're going to look at the cheaper bundles, and next week we'll look at the higher end ones. The first one we're going to look at is the Empire Core bundle, which is based around the Intel U5 245K. This is the entry chip in the lineup, but still really capable. You're getting 16 cores, a mix of performance and efficiency, boost clocks comfortably over 5 GHz, and a single solid thread performance that suits lighter or medium games really well. The board in this bundle, as I mentioned, is the B860 Plus Wi-Fi. For the money, it's a really tidy little board. You've got DDR5 support, PCI Gen 5 on your GPU slot, decent thermal design, and of course the tough durability. It's also got Wi-Fi 6 and a 2.5 gig LAN. It's not a fancy board, but it ticks all the right boxes without pushing the price up. Then our second bundle is going to be with the U7 265K. This chip gives you more cores, jumping from 14 to 20, 8 performance and 12 efficiency, high boost frequencies and a better multi-thread performance. It sits right in the sweet spot where performance jumps without much higher pricing. Then the board that goes with this is the MSI Z890 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. Tomahawk board's a real fan favourite. You've got bigger heat sinks, bigger VRM, PCI Gen 5 on CPU and storage, loads of USB and also Wi-Fi 7. If you're looking for a board that you might look to upgrade with or even use lots of I/O, then the Tomahawk is a really great base. Now everything is going to be tested today with the MSI RTX 5070 Ti, so all the results are comparable. The GPU is still the main thing that decides your frame rate, of course, but the CPU does play a big part in how smooth everything feels, how quickly everything loads, and whether the game stutters under pressure. So we'll look at each bundle separately, do some gameplay, and then wrap up with a comparison at the end. For the testing, I'm going to use my normal high-end bench. That's the Corsair Vengeance DDR5 8000 mega transfers per second. Pretty high-end memory, but this is what I've used to test previous CPUs, so we can always use the data in the future, so it's easily comparable. We've also got a Seagate Firecreator 530 boot drive. Everything is handled by a Noctua NHD15. Then everything is powered by a Corsair HX 1500i. The only thing changing between the bundles is the CPU and then the motherboard. Okay, so on to our first game with the 245K and the Asus B860 board. This is Civ 7. I've got a little bit further into this just to kind of show you what it would look like with a bit more of a town. I am not a turn-based game player, just putting that out there. So this is, you know, a rough idea. Now I am screen recording this with OBS as well. I'm running this in 1080p. This is also set into high graphics as well and is looking really good. So move these down here so we can explore some of the land. So that's our turn done. But it is looking really nice. Let's just move down the map a little bit so you can see the detail. And then achieving around 370 to 400 frames. That's with OBS recording as well. Let's just jump into 1440p and see how that performs with our 5070 Ti. We're just going into the settings to enable 1440p just for this run. But I just wanted to show you that we're not using any upscaling or anything like that. It's literally default settings. Of course, you can use those if you want to, but I wanted to see what we'd get for the raw performance. Now, of course, it is worth mentioning that these games are going to be obviously primarily using the GPU, but your CPU will affect your load times, AI turns, and just loading future terrain, things like that. So the higher CPU you do use, you will see a benefit to your gameplay. But even in 1440p, we're getting around 320 frames a second, so not very much of a drop. It's doing very well. Just going down the bottom here, looks like we've got a hostile person, so I have to look out for him. It's really nice in 1440p. It's a really nice jump actually. Even 1080p looked nice, but 1440p is really bringing out that detail. 1% low is around 150 to 200, but certainly, you know, fast enough for playing this without any interruptions or lag or anything like that. It's very, very smooth. Now, if any of you guys want to see me play a bit more of this, it's something I could definitely get into. Maybe we'll do that on our live stream. Do let me know your thoughts down in the comments box below. Certainly open to trying this out in a bit more depth, as I'm clearly very much a noob at this kind of game. So on to the U7 and the Z890 Tomahawk. I am playing literally the intro to this because I don't want to give spoilers to people that might want to play the game, as obviously this is more story based than Civ 7. So we are just going to use the intro. We'll skip any cutscenes we can as well just to get through it, but currently at 1080p, this is also high settings. We're getting 250 frames with 1% low, solid around 190, so very good. Also nice to see that 1% low in the high refresh rate monitor realm as well, so even the lowest dips aren't going below that, which is great. Oh, looks like we're going to get a bit more action packed now. Oh yes, hopefully YouTube will allow this. Well, we are a right mess now. Make sure it doesn't get up. Double tap. We're almost out. So I'm now just going to swap to 1440p. We'll have a look at how much FPS difference we get and also have a look at the improved quality. So I've not moved, so hopefully you can see a nice jump in quality there. In terms of our FPS though, we're still sitting around 150 frames, which is great. 1% low is around 118. Just get you down there, mate. Make sure we stand up as well. We look compromised, stood down there. Really good solid frame rates there. 119, 125 on that 1% low as well. So, you know, I was sitting around the 120 hertz refresh rate zone, even on the 1% lows. So if you wanted to use a little bit of DLSS just to bump up that frame rate, maybe to 165 on the 1% lows, then you'll be absolutely golden there with the solid frame rates. Very good though. I don't want to go too, like I said, too far ahead because I don't want to spoil it for people. We can always look to play this in the live streams again though. Let me know your thoughts down below about that. So that was a look at the first two bundles and the first two games, and I'm just going to give you a little conclusion as there are a few extra details I want to tell you about. So for the U5 in Civ 7, the frame rate is mostly GPU driven, but the CPU keeps everything flowing smoothly, especially with AI turns and background tasks. The U5's handled this without any issues, smooth movement, no random spikes, nothing choppy, and also ran a repeat test off camera with frame view, so we can use it in the CPU uplift charts in part 2. Now for Dying Light, that is a heavier title. We've got lots of physics, AI, lots of busier movements in there, action paced. But again, the 5070 Ti does most of the work, but your CPU does decide on your lows and your stability. The U7 did feel smoother overall. The main FPS wasn't miles apart, but the consistency, especially during the parkour and combat segments, noticeably tighter. And I've also tested that one again off camera so we can see the uplift between processors. So between these two bundles, the U5 is great for a tighter budget and handles most games perfectly well. The U7 is a little bit more expensive, but does give you smoother stability, smoother lows, and a nice motherboard with some headroom if you want to upgrade later. Now, also worth mentioning, even though Scan shows specific games with each bundle, you're not locked to one title. You can pick any of the 4 games regardless of which CPU and motherboard bundle you buy. I've matched Civ 7 to this one just because it was what was demonstrated on the website and the kind of workflow that it fits, but you can pick a different game if you want to. So something a little bit different today, not a super detailed dive with 1% charts and all that kind of stuff, but just a little look at these bundles to show you what you can expect out of the box in a more real world scenario. Also worth mentioning that all the gameplay was recorded with OBS in the background as well, which adds another layer of load. So if anything, the CPUs actually look better here because they were actually multitasking the whole time as well. Of course, at home, if you're not expecting to do that, you could expect a little bit better frame rate as well. Now, it's also worth mentioning that now Intel's current platform isn't a one and done because we've got the Arrow Lake refresh confirmed. It makes it a little bit more sensible. It's no longer buy this and you're stuck. It's buy this and you've actually got an upgrade path, which is something I always vouch for. If you're purely gaming, then Team Red will crush on the gaming workloads, no doubt about it. But if you're someone that does add some games, but also does maybe some editing, streams, records videos, or just does some heavier tasks or multitasks a lot, then these do make a lot of sense. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. These bundles are also running till the end of the year, and I'll leave all the links down below if you want to check them out. Don't forget, next week we'll look at the 2 higher end ones. So that's the U7 with the MSI Carbon, really nice board, and also the U9 with the 285K Tough from Asus. And I will of course show you the uplift charts across all 3 CPUs as well. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you all in the next one.